Hey everyone, RogueGold here. Welcome back to The Division 2. The final project in the game's summer event has just dropped as of a few hours ago. In case you need a refresher or reminder about what the summer event is, how to participate, how to get the rewards, I did an entire guide on it. I will link it in the upper corner and down in the description. But the final day of new content for it is here, and as such, we have now claimed the pinnacle reward, which is a new cooler named Rifle. So in this video, what I want to do is show you what is up with the gun, how it works, what its new talent is, do a quick gameplay demo, and then just show you some raw gameplay. Should be a lot of fun, and without further ado, let's get right to it. Alright, so the first order of business, how do you get the cooler? It is awarded from the final day 7 project of the summer event. Again, if you need a refresher on the entire thing, feel free to check out that guide linked below. But as you'll see on screen, I went over to access the final day of the summer event projects. The last one was quite easy. All you had to do was donate 50 water, so I did that, and upon doing so, I was awarded with the sunglasses for the outfit, a weapon camo, and then the cooler named Rifle. It's also worth noting that once you do this, the cooler then enters the loot pool for the loot goblin, or the hoarder enemy, whatever you want to call them. And so until the conclusion of the summer event, which is on August 20th, you can refarm this weapon and get whatever rolls or whatever you may want for it, or for expertise, any purposes from the loot goblin, like I said, until the 20th. Now let's switch on over to the game, and we'll show you what's up with the gun. And so, here it is, the new cooler Rifle. Looking at an overview of this thing very quickly, you'll notice it's kind of unique because it deals 0 total damage. This gun cannot deal damage to enemies whatsoever. Because of that, it does not come with any mods on it. This is a completely static gun. You can't change anything with it. You also might notice, and I mentioned this in my original summer event guide video, that it is a reuse of the original Dr. Home exotic rifle skin. I'm not a huge fan of that, which is what I said in that video. I kind of wish that it got its own new original design, but when that gun came out, everybody said this looks like a water gun, and they changed it because of that, because that didn't really fit thematically with what that gun was. This now does look exactly like a water gun. That's what it is, so it works, but again, I would have wished we got something a bit more original. For the weapon itself, though, on the right side, you can see the flavor text is remember to hydrate, but then down here is where things start to get interesting. The unique talent on this is called refreshing. The weapon fires a stream of water. Hitting an ally agent builds stacks on them. Max stack is 5. Stacks deplete every 2 seconds. While having at least 1 stack, the ally will have 50% hazard protection. So no, this gun is not going to be the new meta weapon that's one-shotting everybody and doing all this crazy stuff. Again, it deals 0 damage. It's not that kind of a gun. But what it is, and I really hope that people can kind of value and appreciate this, is that it is a very solid contender for a new support option in The Division 2. Reason being, in content like PvP, which we're going to look at shortly, as well as stuff like raids and incursions, specific fights and mechanics in there, having a 50% hazard protection buff is very solid, and being able to do that without dedicating your entire build to it, right? If you can just throw on this one gun and be able to buff up allies like that, that's very powerful. And that's why I'm excited for those kinds of applications, again, specifically in content like PvP, because when it comes to fighting stuff like status effect builds, which have historically always been super strong in the game, it's just a really good team play option. Just to show you quickly how it works, and then we're going to get into a live demo. You never have to reload this thing. It'll automatically refill itself. Again, you shoot enemies, it does nothing to them. It doesn't deal any damage. This is purely an ally weapon. There is a reload animation you can do, but again, it's unnecessary. You don't need to because it refills itself. So that's a quick overview of the weapon. Like I said, let's now swap over to a live demo I did of some PvP stuff so that you can begin to see some of the potency of this. Alright, so let's demonstrate exactly how this works. I have 2 teammates here. The one is running pretty much a full damage status effect build, pretty standard what you're going to run into, because that is the main thing that this is going to be useful for countering, at least in PvP, right? My other teammate here has no hazard protection on it except from his watch, so he's got 10% hazard, but then when I fully charge him with the rifle, he's going to get 60% in total. So again, the gun shoots like this. You can apply the stacks very quickly. You can also track above your ally's head how much they have. It's depleting by 1 every 2 seconds, so you can apply it very quickly and then just leave that on them, and that entire time they're going to have the 50% hazard buff. So I'm going to move away here, and I'm going to reapply one more time so that he has those maximum stacks, and then he'll get shot by the fire sticky, and you'll see with 60% hazard, that's about what it would be right now. Still hurting him quite a bit because those status effect builds are lethal, but at least you can see the kind of protection that that can give to an ally. Alright, but then one other example I wanted to show for why this is so impactful, at least to PvP build making in my opinion, is because with this, you now have a very easy path to get to 100% hazard protection against these status builds. And the way that is with a change they made in Project Resolve, where now healing skills give you an inherent 50% hazard protection. So, you just flagged Rogue, and you'll see that when I tag him with this, I get the stacks up, and he drops one of those charges from the chem launcher. He has that other symbol. That's 100% hazard in total. Or you'd have 110 from his thing, and you saw that he only took the initial blast damage, but nothing else after that. That was it. And I think that's a pretty potent example of why the cooler can be a really powerful, like I said, build tool, at least in the realms of PvP, even stuff like raids and incursions. It's got some potential. So there you have it, everybody. That is your guide, review, showcase, whatever you want to call it, for the new cooler named rifle in the Division 2. Very much hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you're excited for the gun. I know there's a lot of people who really only care about that flashy, new highest weapon damage type of stuff. I certainly like that stuff too, don't get me wrong. But I do think it's important for us to have support options in the game, and for something like this, as I've said countless times already in the video, I'm excited for what kinds of applications this might have in some of that more prestige endgame content and PvP. It invites a lot of creativity with what kind of builds you run it with, and I always enjoy those kinds of items. So whatever brainstorming or ideas you may have about where you may incorporate the cooler into your gameplay or builds, I would love to hear about it down below, as well as your general thoughts on the gun and the summer event overall. I'm going to leave you all off with a tiny bit more gameplay here that I got with the cooler in Conflict. If you enjoyed the video and you want to see more like it in the future, then I would appreciate you considering clicking that subscribe button if you haven't already. But that's it for me, y'all. Enjoy the gameplay, and until next time, RogueGold. Out.
An agent needs assistance.
Point Charlie is in enemy hands.
Hostile hive detected. Has been taken by allies. Hostile phaser drone detected.